Seems like there ain't a week that goes by that I don't get something delivered to me in the mail that's been sent in by the viewers out there. I get a lot of letters, a lot of donations. It's been a while since I've done a donation video of all the stuff that's been sent in, and to thank all the people that send stuff in. So that's what we're going to do today. Show off all the fantastic classic model trains that have been sent in, all gauges, all sizes, all eras, here over the last about a year and 3 or 4 months. Some of these have been turned into videos already. Some are still waiting their turn. So you might recognize some things are the first time you'll be seeing them. Well, let's check all this awesome stuff out. Getting started with our first donation. This one landed here almost a year ago. Shows how long I've neglected to do this. Coming in from Mike Goldner down there in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area. Sent some great literature. Whatever shows up, I love it all. Information, printed information, stuff I don't know, that's the best. It's got some news articles, it's got some magazine articles, I've got some classic American Flyer operating instructions. There's another Lionel operating instructions. Of course, I always get a nice letter with all these things. Just makes a guy happy. Our next one here showed up well over a year ago. March of 23 is when this one showed up. Some more amazing literature. I absolutely love it. This is from Steve Walton out there in Palmyra, New York. Hopefully, Steve, I didn't hammer out that name. This is some amazing stuff. A 1962 Model Railroading magazine, a 62 to 63 Tyco color catalog, an Atlas Track Plans magazine from 1958, a Revell catalog, full color. These things were really, really nice. Unknown date. And then this really cool Lionel catalog that's got these huge pullouts in it. Flip through them, all their stuff. I can't find the date on it, but just I love it. I love it. I need to digitize this stuff and find some way to get it online to share it with everybody. Yeah, because these are cool. I guess I could send them into H.O. Seeker as long as he stamps it from the private collection of Ron Davis. Yep. This next one showed up December 1st of 2023. Came in from Clive Griffey out of Lacey, Washington. This cute little Lindbergh, this little switcher, this SW1. We did a video on this one already. A lot of this stuff when it gets donated, it needs to be worked on. So we'll do a little video on it. Here's the thumbnail of that video that's out there. It was a fun little rebuild on this. Gives me new stuff to work on from all this stuff that gets sent in. Sooner or later, everything that gets sent in is going to end up having a video. Most of the time we'll have the video made for it. This next collection that came in here was donated by Dave Hoover out there in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. I got that one right. You're going to hear Dave's name quite a bit. He's the one I refer to as East Coast Dave after I met local Dave here in town, 2 Daves. Dave Hoover sends in just a lot of stuff. He must clean out his stash and then you'll put him in a box and ship him down to me because we're going to hear his name several more times in this collection. Let me show you some of the stuff that he sent off to me back in December 12th of 2023. Starting off with this American Flyer number 293. You might have remembered this one here because we did a video on restoring it. And then I built a front pilot for it because it was completely missing. I did a repaint on it. And then he sent in this American Flyer, this 977 caboose. It's got that guy there on the back that moves in and out automatically with the electricity. Mopac stock car. And then this Gulf tank car. These items here were from 53 to 57 for the 4 of those, more than likely in a set. This 1950 to 51 302 AC in the Reading line right there. Sent in this 21165, this Erie 440. Lots of straight tracks, about 30 pieces of curve, 25 pieces of straight track. We got these uncoupling buttons, the uncoupling track piece. Sent in some Army guys that are in S gauge, and then these are circus people that are in HO scale right here. This cutest little thing, I think it might work, but I was gonna make a video on that. I'm not sure who made it though. It is just the neatest little feller. Some HO trucks here. It looks like something used for an ET movie. This little guy right here just says made in Japan on it. Don't know what it is. I can't get any farther with it. Lionel Railroad crossing here. A couple other items that I just can't seem to find right now at the time. He sent me in some gearboxes. He did some rooting around on this. We did a video on this big boy, and the gearboxes were kind of they were deteriorated in it. And he'd managed to find some, sent me in some gearboxes to fix this. I've just got to get around to getting it put in there. Now, this next one that's been sent in right now was sent in by Chris Linky up there in Grafton, Ontario, Canada. You might recognize that name because he's the one that sent in the Bachmann, which one was that? The Bachmann Daylight that we decided to put the sleeves on the gears that took 12 and a half hours to finish to make the thing work because Bachmann gears. Yeah, we made a video on that. It was a really good video too. Here's some great stuff that he sent in though to keep adding, to keep thanking me for fixing that thing up for him. These are some old classic Walthers. They look like they're from the 50s or 60s. We got the 7808 executive car. We got a Skokie coach that's self-powered. And then we're finishing up with a 7900 streamlined combine passenger car. The old school kits where you got to build the whole thing and the roof's made out of balsa wood. And there's a lot of skill sets you gotta have to put those together. Holy moly. Thanks so much, Chris, for sending these wonderful things in. I'll have to see if I can get them whooped into shape here over the winter time. I might have mentioned this before in the past, this particular donation, but I didn't write it down on my book, so I gotta do it again to make sure I got it right. Mixed Trains out of Raleigh, North Carolina, sent in this IHC Scratch Builders Bible. Now these are nice because IHC imported from Rivarossi, they imported from Lima, they imported from Mahano. So you can flip through here and you can find the illustrated parts breakdowns and the part numbers for the individual locomotives that they sold back in the day. Makes it kind of nice to have. Yeah, Scratch Builders Bible. Slip it into the year 2024. Dave Hoover again, East Coast Dave out there in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. I get a box from him about every month or something like that. He sent in this beautiful, the Tyco Pennsylvania in the black, which is actually a dark green, the Tyco Amtrak GG1, the Varney GG1, the Penline GG1, and then also this wonderful AHM parts catalog right here. It's the Scratch Builders Bible, which is complimentary to the IHC because it makes reference to both of them. So I can look up pretty much Rivarossi from the 60s and then all the imports up through about the mid 80s on all that stuff. That was great. We did a video on all this GG1 stuff here about a month and a half ago or something like that. Thumbnail to it right here. Some of these things have had videos made, some hasn't. This next donation really threw me off when it showed up here. Came in from a gentleman named Christian Crawwell, I believe it is. Sorry if I blew it. All the way across the pond, Galway, Ireland. Ireland. Oh, it's like one of the motherlands for all of us European descendants, white people. This is a Pico SVT 137. It's a little articulated, must be a tram or people mover kind of thing. Cool. I mean, wow. Never seen it, never knew it existed, not really sure what it is, but it's European. And that's pretty neat because I like to see what the Europeans are running around with over there. Yeah, this one's a great one. Thank you so much. Here at the end of January 2024, this gentleman reached out to me and said, hey, you need any horn hooks? Or maybe I said, hey, if anybody's got any horn hooks, I could sure go for them. But Eric George out of Wright City, Missouri, he came, filled the bill. He sent in a baggie full of horn hook couplers. Why would a guy want horn hooks? Well, for one, when you're putting together old Tycos and you want to put, horn hooks on them to make them original, like they were. And I'm not going to put expensive Cadies on everything under the moon. If I got one car and it's missing one horn hook, I want to throw a horn hook on it. So, guys, if you have horn hooks and you're swatching over to Cadies, don't throw them away. There's guys out there, or others perhaps, that need them, that can use them. Yes, horn hooks, they still work in forward. Really, really good. Yeah. Here's a fella that sends in. He's sending some stuff. This name is pretty common to me. Wayne Slayton, down there in Lowell. Ah, put it down here. Massachusetts. Sent in this wonderful. This ends up. I had to look it up to see what it was. It's in kind of a kit form. Using the old eBay machine. Turns out that this is a Marks New Haven number 20 little switcher, probably 50s, I'm guessing 60s, late 50s, early 60s, with that design of the motor. Cool little thing. And then he's got little business cards in there or something, and some shots of some local rail fanning that he included in there also. So I figured I'd show those off also. Came in about the first part of February of 2024. This next one here was donated by Charlie from the YouTube channel Just Railroading out of Shelby, North Carolina. We just talked about this here. He set up that Tenshodo GP20, that brass locomotive. We just did a video on that one here. Well, he also set up some other things that came along with it. Of course, the Tenshodo GP20. Then it's got this brass Pennsylvania hopper. It's got a Hobby Town of Boston. It's an Alco 1600 horsepower loco kit. The CB&Q and 040 made by New One out of Tokyo, Japan. That'll be a fun one to work on also. And then a 1972 AHM catalog and a 1958 Railroad Model Craftsman magazine. Love the classic model trains, love the classic literature, all kinds of good stuff here. Thanks so much. Jesse and Kat out of Cleveland, Ohio sent in this great little tech piece from the 80s, the Lionel Railscope in HO scale. We did a video on it right away, checked it all out, showed what it did, and for that time, it didn't do that bad. You know, I mean, God, it predated the internet. It predated the IBM PC. Great little piece there. Thanks so much for throwing that in. Kenneth Whippich out of Caledonia, Ohio sent in this here. It's a scratch builder's Bible. This is the Mantua parts for the relaunched 1977 and up stuff. Breakdowns, illustrated parts, part numbers, how they work, why they do what they do. It's a scratch builder's Bible just as well. Great piece of literature, great piece of information. Thanks so much for this. William Hughes out of Middle Township, New Jersey sent down these 3 wonderful locomotives here and a nice little letter to go along with it. Here we have a Fun Dimensions Lionel HO gauge, a GP9. We got the Tyco GG1 and the Pennsylvanian Brown. And then we've got a lifelike New Jersey Transit F40 right here. Even the little letter on there even says how many amps they draw, what's wrong with them, or what's not wrong with them, because they all run really well. Still be fun to take them apart and get in there and root around and re-lube them and see how it makes them tick. Jeffrey Slonaker? He's had a little... I'm having a hard time. McMechen, West Virginia. I can get to West Virginia. It's easy enough for me to do. McMechen out of West Virginia. Hopefully, sorry. Sent in this little helping hand soldering station here. Although he didn't know that I've already got one that I really like. So I ended up taking it and I donated it up to local Dave here in town because he didn't have one yet. So, but anyway, thank you. But I went up the chain a little bit. It's still helping people out. Chuck Miller out of Ringo, Georgia sent in this Mantua Southern Mikado. Now this isn't a Tyco Mantua. This is the Mantua, the relaunch from 77 and up. Beautiful locomotive. Richard Biscardi out of Franklin Square, New York. I don't know why the older I get, the better I am at saying Italian names. Sent in a little donation here of all these fantastic Tyco cars still in the boxes. And as I'm scrolling through them, we got 2 F7s, the pulpwood car, the BN box car, the tractor flat car, the Hershey car. I get to noticing that this is the Tyco 1974 twin diesel freight set. I got a complete Tyco set that was sent in. That was pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. Plus it sent in one of the bicentennial box cars, the Minutemen, and some AHM power poles, which will look great on the layout on those last final details. So thank you very much for sending this stuff here in. This feller Joe Cantonese out of Cheswick, Pennsylvania, saw in one of my videos I was working on some couplers and I was using these little bread ties to shim up the coupler boxes. And then I mentioned that you have to paint them, and he said that's That's just way too much work. I'm gonna send you up some black polystyrene so that way you won't have to go through that extra step of painting them. And sure enough, a few days later, some pieces of this black styrene showed up. Made my day that much easier. Thanks so much. So there's this feller named Thomas Rathman out of Austin, Texas. He decides to send some stuff up to the channel. Here at the first part of April of this year, sends this wonderful little Mahano GP7 and a Hawthorne Village / Bachmann Astros powered F unit. And then like 10 days later, he is rooting around, still cleaning up some stuff, and he found the powered B unit to that Hawthorne Village set. And he found himself a Tyco Midnight Special RF-16 or a shark nose, and in this fantastic looking Plasticville, like a 60s motel, complete plastic kit. I got the kit, I just got it like packed up way and I can't get to it, so I stole a picture off the eBay. So love these. I love the motel because it fits into the time frame of my town, Daviston here, 62 and back. Nothing newer than 1962. So that's a 50s motel. Absolutely perfect. Love it. Very interesting. It'll be a good chance to get into them Bachmann Hawthorne Village ones and see how they are. They seem to have good weight to them and power, 8-wheel drive, 8-wheel pickup. They might be really nice ones. Yeah. Thank you very much. Welcome to day 3. Well, it's day 3 for me shooting all this stuff. It should only be a little over 16 and a half minutes for you watching this thing. Come to find out that I've got this stuff stashed all over the place and I gotta dig it all back up and set up the display and then do a little shooting and then tear it all down and set it up again. And oh my goodness, I should do these more often than once every year and 4 months, I guess. Let's get on with this one here. This one came in from Angelo Raimondi, I believe how you say it. He's down in Springfield, Illinois. He'd reached out to me and asked if there's anything that I wanted. He had a bunch of stuff laying around. He was cleaning out the garage or something. I'm like, I could use some transformers, some small ones for starter sets. Because local Dave and me want to put together some small starter sets comprised of starter set quality stuff for 3-rail Lionel. And then, get some little youngins maybe started on a lifelong passion. And he answered the bill. My goodness. One of these auctions came in about the end of April, and then another one come in at about the end of May. He sent in so much stuff. We got the Transformers all whooped into shape here. The old ones, the 1033s, the little tiny ones. We've got a lot of S-gauge locomotives, a 312, a 350, a 302, an L2001, a 370 GP7, couple of Marks wind-ups, a Commodore and a 400, this wonderful looking 644 crane car, this cute little Missouri and St. Louis little HO switcher, some Marks tin plates, 6-inch, 72-inch radius curves. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Because I got O-gauge stuff and I want to try to make the new 3-rail layout to have these big, graceful, long curves in it so it looks more prototypical. So this worked out awesome. Killer donation right here. A lot in freight though. I tell you, you add those transformers up, it gets heavy. And I ain't kidding. Thank you very much. A box from Dave Hoover out in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It was about a month later, another one shows up. I seen one of his videos where he had one of them Bowser T1s in it, and it was running up and down his track. I'm like, what's that? And he told me what it was, and I had to have it. So we worked it out. He sent it down to me, along with 3 American Flyers, steamers, S-gauge. And they didn't get packed very well. And the people that were handling the package must have been the C team, because they were throwing it out of the truck onto the treadmill, and it looked like the beginning of Ace Ventura Pet Detective. It had to have been. And that thing got damaged really, really bad. So now I'm trying to find it needs a new front truck. The power truck, the one with the motor on it that holds the front boogies, and I think we can pull the rest of it out. And of course the American Flyers, they pulled through really well. Just a little bit of tweaking and straightening out. You know, their cast, they're really beefy, but that Bowser, it took a hit. Ugh. But it will make a good video. If anybody out there's got a power front, any drivetrain, you know, there's 2 separate trucks inside them Bowsers, and I need the front one complete, some parts. Reach out, Classic Model Trains at AOL.com. If you can help a brother out, then we can make a video on a Bowser T1. That'll be cool. Thanks for this donation, Dave. This next one comes in from Ed Zarzinski. I believe that's how you spell it, or say it. I probably blew it. South Amboy, New Jersey. You sent in this lifelike. It's an F unit powered, an A unit dummy, and a caboose chassis system. And I think it's from the 70s, from the colors of the packaging on it. And I got to tell you that this guy knows how to pack. Each one of these boxes was wrapped in bubble wrap, put inside of a box. It had protective wrapping around the outside. And then he put it inside another box, completely isolated all the way around it from the first box. The thing was like this big. It was huge. Best packaging job I've ever seen. Man, that was fantastic. Thanks so much for this great donation. It'll be fun to open this one up and see what kind of drive is in it. Do a little archaeological dig on it to get it serviced up and running the rails. Thanks. Chris Linky from Grafton, Ontario, Canada shows up again. Box arrives in the mail from him. Some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. Appears to be a can of Iron Maiden Tour water, a really cool sign hanging in the old train room, and then a Lionel 2056 O-gauge locomotive that is the worst flooding condition I have ever seen. Says that his sister moved into an apartment and this was in it. And she gave it to him. He goes, hey, I know who to send this to. Shipped it up to me. That one's going to be fun to fix because I like the challenge of it. Plus the fact that I found that we can get parts from the train tender up there in upstate New York. We'll be able to get this running the rails again. So that's going to make a great episode. Thanks so much. John Powell down there in Argos, Indiana, because he's watched a lot of my videos where I'm always going through the Q-tips, cleaning up stuff. So he found these little guys right here and shipped them up here to say these will work really good. They're better than the Q-tips for doing the really, really small stuff. Gave a nice letter with it also. So thanks so much, John, for sending this stuff up, helping out my cleaning progresses. During the sale of the stuff that we had in the bus, I ended up having 2 Mark's hand cars, little. I think I sold one of them to this guy named Mark Montella down in Childs, Pennsylvania. I had one that had a broken pumper handle, one that didn't. And I sold him the one that didn't. And then I believe that he said, hey, I've got a spare one when he got it. And he sent it back to me. I think it's a broken handle. So now I've got 2 handles that are broken and I got one pumper Mark's car that doesn't. I think it's broken. I'm not sure. But mistakes sometimes happen. We like all donations no matter what. I might get another broken half of the other side and then I can make 2 of them and make one into it. I decided to change the back color here a little bit because 3 days of the same color, it just wore on me. I needed to try to jazz it up a little bit, you know. We're almost to the end here. I've only got about 4 more pretty good sized donations. Really neat one. So we just did a video on this one. Frank O'Connor out of Monticello, Florida sent all this stuff up. We did the Atlantic Coastline Varney video here. Just, well, my rate I've been doing, it's probably been a month ago, it seems like. It's 2 weeks for sure. Want to show all this stuff again. Set a bunch of really nice varnish shells, cast iron, some plastic with a bunch of parts. And then these ACL shells were in there. And then we ended up taking all the parts and making a really nice ACL set out of it. Here's a complete Varney Fast Freight set. Beautiful box and everything. Plus this wonderful Arnold European N-gauge little tiny set right here. So this is the stuff that we work on all the time. A lot of this stuff is sent in. You know, it may run, it may, mostly it don't, but it might. But I just take it apart anyway and clean it, make it do its thing. So thank you guys so much for all the donations. Thanks for this one out there, Frank. It turned out to be a nice looking ACL. Here over Christmas time of last year, I had a gentleman named Mike Goldner out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. He had sent up a 259E to get some work done to it. And when it showed up, it didn't have the tender so I couldn't make a good video of it. And when I did, I just repaired it and shot it back down to him. And the armature ended up, the windings on the armature ended up breaking. They come disconnect, you know, there was an open. And it worked for like 6 hours and then it quit. So he sent it back up again. That's where we got this video of hand rewinding the armature. That was for that 259E. And for all my troubles, Mike had sent up this beautiful Bachmann Royal Gorge set. This is just a picture of it that I stole off the eBay, because the one that I own it's packed up there in the top of the cabin in a box and I can't get up there currently. So there, that showed up. The Royal Gorge set, beautiful, beautiful Bachmann set. Then he sent this little track cleaner right here, this Lionel track cleaner, and then a couple of Scout locomotives that are currently packed away out in the shed that I can't find. So I got a lot of stuff that's just kind of stashed around. Hard to get the stuff. So Mike Goldner's happy because he's got his 259E. It's working. I'm pretty happy because I got some more stuff to work on and fix and show neat things for the channel. So thanks out there, Mike. In January of this year, Vic Curran out of Leavittsburg, Ohio, he'd sent up a bunch of neat stuff also. This video isn't in complete chronological order because we're now in the June donations, and this came in January. Some of the stuff I found and some of it I haven't. The reason it's taken 3 days to do this video is because I had to stop and clean everything up. All the boxes I had stashed and everything was mixed matched around, so I organized it all up. I couldn't find all this stuff. He had sent in a Lionel, it's an 027, it's a log flat car, a pre-war one, a Lionel 6560 crane, some Mark 6-inch Middle States oil car, a New York City caboose, I did find that one, some Super K-line O-gauge radius track, I found the Lionel lines tender, and then a bunch of miscellaneous switches. So I wanted to throw that out there. Oh, and Vic sent a nice little letter along with it also. So I know that all the stuff is still here. It's just that some things are in areas that I can't quite access right now. So thank you for this donation as well. This next donation is a huge one. Huge one. Big name. We've already talked about him on the channel. Lynn McCurdy, High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club down out of California. Nicest guy in the whole wide world. They get locomotives. They go to work and they break down in the club. And he boxes them up about once a year. Ships them off to me. We did a complete video on just his stuff when I went into detail, so I won't go through it right now. I'll get them set up on my little table. Most of them are up here, and when I pull them off, this thing is just going to be empty. So I'll get them all lined up on the table here. We'll do a quick flyby of all these beautiful locomotives. A lot of newer Bachmann, newer Mantua. They're DCC. They're sound. A lot of really nice ones. I haven't got into doing any repairs on them yet. Gonna have to do that. Notes were included with them all, saying kind of what's wrong with them to make them easier to fix and stuff. Just gorgeous. I can't wait to get this winter time, when I got more time, to get into these and start fixing some newer stuff for y'all. Thank you very much, Lynn, for this donation. About 3 months ago, this young fellow out of Jonesboro, Louisiana, his name is Bryson Aranda, I believe. He tells me that he's got this Lionel, and he thinks it's called a Flying Yankee, that he wanted to donate to the channel. Yeah. That's like, oh my God, that's one of the holy grails of the pre-war Lionel. 1935, 1936 for this particular one. Lo and behold, it shows up. I couldn't believe it. Took a little while. He's busy with college and stuff like that, he tells me. I got a Lionel Flying Yankee donated to the channel. It also came with a what is this thing? It's a 1954 American Flyer train set called the Arrow. It's just missing the gondola, but you know, a little research pops up. Found that out too. Amazing, amazing stuff. These must have been in the family or something like that. They're in good homes now. I can't wait till we get a chance to restore that Flying Yankee. That's going to be the bomb. The bomb. Looking for some chrome replaters as we speak, or maybe nickel, because nickel's not as bad to the environment as the chrome, I understand. Our last donation for this channel right here. It's going to end once again with Dave Hoover up there in Pittsburgh, Massachusetts. It's been a month, so yeah, he had to send something up. So this great little collection here, got the Tyco Rhode Island Shark Nose, the Tyco Silver Streak C430, a River Rossi 440, the ACL. I really liked that one there. That's a dummy, so that way I can fix my set up there. Santa Fe, that's an Athearn band drive. Campbell's Soup, Lifelike. We got these Varney kits from the 40s. One's a brass one, one's a Vanderbilt. Oh man, those are really nice. A Hobbytown of Boston chassis, couple of rail products, bodies to go on Athearn chassis for back in the blue box era. Just amazing treasures, just treasures everywhere. I love it. Thanks once again, Dave. There we are with about a year's worth of donations coming into the channel right there. It took me 3 days to film it because of this. I want to take this time to thank the sponsors of this video, the guys that make this rigid back brace, and the guys that make these Timmy crutches is what I call them, you know, from South Park. Because I've been limping around on these for the last week and a half because I hurt my back putting an air conditioner on the roof of that fifth wheel that I've been restoring. The guy just can't win. 56 years old and I'm broken down because I gave my youth away to the man back in the day. Now I'm just left broke and broken down. Well, I'm going to see if I can jam this thing out on Friday. It's like 2:45 right now, Mountain Standard Time. Takes about 3 hours to get it finished up and loaded up and everything like that. So Friday night, hopefully there'll be some people out there watching some YouTube videos of classic model trains. I'm Ron. Thanks so much for hanging out, watching this with me. Take care. Bye-bye.